Most of the Nigerian populace do not know how strategically cruel the Nigerian politicians are. For instance, we look at the newly introduced student bill. On the surface, it looks like something that's really good for the population. But when you look deeper, it's actually a bill set out to trap young Nigerian graduates in the country and stop them from accessing opportunities abroad. The government is basically using a Trojan horse strategy to curb the brain drain. Let me explain. The Nigerian tertiary institution is currently tuition free. So yes, you can pay for like your books, your course registration, your accommodation, but fundamentally it is tuition free. They did this because they're trying to increase enrollment in the university because millions of Nigerians are what we call multidimensionally poor and illiterate. For instance, when you look at the University of Lagos, which is like the richest state in the country, the medical students there pay $38, I believe, per year. And many people still struggle to get that money. So following this structure, the government has been the one, footing the bills for the educational sector. But the budget allocated is always so poor. Like now in 2021, it was just 5.7%. In 2022, it was just 7.2%. And now in 2022, it's a mere 8.8%. It is so low. So because of how low these budgets are, of course, the tertiary institutions are just failing. The schools are overcrowded. The amenities do not work. There are no equipment available there. The hostels look shitty. Literally, the picture is there. And most times actually, the lecturers are poorly paid or not even paid at all. This is why the lecturers always go on strike. Will you believe that last year the lecturers were on strike for 8 months? Yes, that means students were home for 8 months. No school, no work, no job, no nothing. They were just at home, angry and frustrated. Now the government says that, look, we cannot continue to cushion the bill for the tertiary institution. We don't even have the money to do that. And because of this, they've given these tertiary institution financial autonomy. That means they can decide and dictate the amount they put up for their school fees. Right now, even the school fees has tripled just because of that, and many students genuinely cannot afford it. So this is where the student loan bill comes into play. The government decided to sign a new student loan bill because they believe that it would help cushion the impact of the increased tuition for the populace. For you to be eligible for the student loan bill, your family's income must be less than $630 a year or less than $44 a month. Now I'm thinking to myself, people in that financial grade, do they even have bank accounts? How are they going to be able to showcase their finances? Secondly, you need to have certain guarantors. You must have 2 guarantors. They have to be senior civil servants, a lawyer with at least 10 years of experience, or a judicial officer or justice of peace. Now imagine you're a poor person. Where and how are you going to get people like that to become your guarantors? Where are you going to find those kind of people? And now that I'm saying this story, knowing that I'm a Nigerian and the way we like to move like this, I am very certain that this would be another cash cow for the civil servants. This is another way for them to start making money. If you want me to be your guarantor, give me part of the loan that you receive. So now let's talk about the repayment plan. If you are employed, you need to pay 10% of your income to the loan. If you are self-employed, you need to pay 10% of your monthly profit to the loan. Failure to do this, you are going to be fined with I think $650, or you go to jail for 2 years. And sometimes you might just be fined and actually go to jail for 2 years. I'm thinking about all of this. I'm thinking about the bill. I'm thinking about the repayment plan. And I'm remembering that first I'm Nigerian and I know that there are no jobs. There are no jobs in the country right now. So this whole bill seems like it's just a one-way ticket to jail. I take this loan and I know that when I graduate, I'm going to go to jail for sure. Also, this year, the unemployment rate has been projected to be 41%. That's a lot of people. And when you look at it and recognize that we have 4 to 5 million young graduates that come into the workforce every year with no jobs available, you get to see the disaster that we have on our hands. Sadly, even the ones who are fortunate to get a job earn between 30,000 naira, that is like $38, and 50,000 naira, that's like $68 a month. They earn less than $100 a month. Because of the unemployment rate, there are no jobs, there's no money. A lot of people are leaving the country and looking for jobs outside. So there's a huge brain drain happening in the country. And the government have been trying means trying everything to curb the brain drain. This is where I believe that the student loan now comes in as a trap. They know for a fact that, majority of the Nigerians are poor. You get acceptance into the university, you obviously cannot afford it because, the tuition has now tripled or, doubled wherever you are. You have to go access the loans because, of course, you cannot afford the school fees. You access the loans, you finish from school, there are no jobs because there are no jobs anywhere. The economy is not looking like it's going to get better anytime soon. You now find an opportunity to leave the country. Do you think, as a Nigerian, even listening to this, do you think your government will let you relocate for better opportunities if you're still owing them? Even if they haven't said this in the bill, even if they haven't said this out loud, and now this is me thinking strategically and ruthlessly like the Nigerian government, they will trap you in the country. You're not going to be able to leave anywhere until you pay back that loan. If the Nigerian government actually wants to help the populace, this is what they should do. They should introduce grants, they should introduce scholarships, they should focus on, bettering the institutions that are already there instead of building new universities. Because why? They should improve the classroom. They should make sure that they pay the lecturers a fair pay. These are some of the things they need to do right now to ensure that the educational system is better. I do not believe that the student loan bill is the appropriate measure or the appropriate means to solve the educational issue right now in Nigeria. But this again is just my 2 cents. I'm just yapping like I usually do. I want to hear what you have to say. What do you think about the student loan bill? First, do you think it's a propaganda? Do you think it's something that the government just did because they signed this in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks into the new presidency? Do they just want people to know and feel like they're doing something? Or do you feel like this is a right, approach to solve the educational issue that we have in our country? However, if you're Nigerian, if you're a Nigerian student, would you take out the student loan bill if you have the opportunity? I really want to hear what you have to say in the comments.